Welcome back, guys, to Pro League here live in the Next One Arena. Tonight, castings meet Valdez with Moonglade, and we're about to jump into Prime versus SK Telecom T1 Pro Game Team.
It's going to be an interesting one, Valdez. Prime, the odds are stacked against them. They've had one of the worst results this season that we've ever seen, or this round specifically, that we've ever seen in Pro League before, and maybe even ever in the last however many years this league has actually been going since Brewer.
Not a single happy face in that lineup.
Negative 14, Valdez. How could they possibly be happy, especially when they're up against a team that has +9 to their rating right now.
5-0, haven't taken a loss. These two guys are on the total opposite ends of the spectrum right now for round one. We're about to see BBoongBBoong versus soO. soO, a ZVZ master these days, playing extremely well. BBoongBBoong, can't really say the same about him. He's got a huge match ahead of him here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the possibilities are always there, especially in a ZVZ. It is a very explosive matchup. You know, build order wins can happen very easily as well. If you see soO go for that hatch first against like a 9-pool Baneling, you know, he'll just lose the game straight off the bat.
Yeah. I would hope that soO doesn't play greedy and just tries to play like a straight-up safe game. It would be very smart for him. We did see that one time Biel go down to Terror. So, as you were saying, ZVZ can be a bit freaky sometimes.
Anything can happen, Valdez.
Yeah.
Anything at all.
Looks like Yoda got a haircut. Or at least it's very nicely styled today.
Looks like he shaved the sides a bit. You know, getting it pretty spiffy.
Yeah. Innovation as well, getting a haircut, pretty short.
There's Keen. Keen's got a bit of a match against, line up against, who's the player again, Valdez? I remember I saw it, I'm like, oh man, he's playing Impact. That's right, that's the one we're really excited for, actually.
Yeah. It's that one match where I feel like, I suppose it's possible that Keen might be able to take it. I think it's Prime's best chance. I would still give Impact a big lead in that, in the predictions, but...
Yeah, well, it's going to be close because we just haven't seen much of Impact either, especially since he joined SK, so...
When I looked at his stats, I saw like the one GSL qualifier. I think I saw like Kespa Cup qualifier. I think he got knocked out of that one, and a bunch of online tournaments. So he's one of those players that's like on the SK Telecom lineup, but he's never played really. So this is going to be his first time here against Keen, against Prime here. Kind of makes sense that SK brings him out tonight.
Yeah, they bring out one of their more inexperienced players and giving him a bit of stage time, Impact, you know. He's never really, I don't think he's ever been in Pro League before, ever in one of these booths before playing for a team, so there's a whole new pressure to it, so you want to condition your players to do so.
Yeah, and if you'll notice, the other three players are pretty much their top three players at this point. It's Dream and Classic, who are going in the finals of the SSL on Saturday, by the way, mark that date. And soO, of course, who's performing extremely well in Pro League. So.
Yeah, especially in ZVZ, as you said.
Yes. So there you go.
BBoongBBoong creator Keen and Yoder, they got it really stacked against them. Their best bet is a win either through build orders by BBoongBBoong or through Keen defeating a bit of an inexperienced Impact in this kind of environment.
Yeah. Keen's on a pretty big losing streak at the same time, but he did play a pretty good game against Life that one time. That's the only thing I can give him, really. Impact playing in Pro League for the first time in 707 days since July 9th, 2013. So he has been here, but it's been a very long time. And Prime trying to defeat SKT for the first time since June 3rd, 2014.
Yeah, okay.
That was over a year ago, Moonglade.
Long time ago, Valdez. They've certainly fallen far since then. It's sad to say. Maybe today can be their redemption. We'll see.
Well, they had a decent game against MVP, but it has to be said, MVP not quite the team when you're comparing them against SKT. But still, you know, Prime, they've got some wins under their belt at least. They took it to that ace match against MVP. Yeah,
that's one redeeming thing. You know, they have gotten some points on the board, but now they're up against a team that hasn't lost a single match yet this round, and they are just looking so good. The lineup that they have this time, they got 2 finalists for Star League, and soO, who is like a multiple winner or a multiple second place player, which is practically winning in my books. You know, 3 Pretty GSLs and all that. You know, this is a sick player who's doing so well in ZVZ specifically. So. I mean, it's really stacked up against them.
Yeah, it's a bit of a story also, by the way. Dream, he just got second place in Star League for the first season, and now he gets to the finals again. And Classic was actually the guy that denied soO the final, the championship over at GSL. Classic took that win. So can Classic get a double knockdown on 2 of his teammates to get 2 first place in a row.
It's funny, too, because I'm sure that doesn't feel nearly as good as a win.
No.
Like, oh, I beat both my teammates to have championships. So, you know, like, sure, it happened, but they are teammates. So it's not like really going the distance, like, against someone like from, for instance, the other side, like KT or something. That would be, like, a massive win.
Yeah, and look at this. Here we go. This is exactly what we were talking about. Fortunately for Dream, I think he's got a much better chance here against Classic going into the finals than soO in that finals, but we'll see.
True.
Anything can happen. You know, Dream, he looked a little bit nervous in his finals, one thing I noticed against Maru.
Yeah.
But these days he's looking much more confident.
Well, I think he's certainly learned from that, too. So he's coming back this time. He's good enough to be that consistent to get to the finals again.
And it's a different matchup, too.
The only other thing is like they are teammates. The Classic knows him way too good for this. Like, he might have it all figured out, and Classic could be the one that just dominates him for it.
Yeah. Classic was that guy who had that championship in GSL. And then he, like, kind of wobbled a bit. He, like, failed in Pro League towards the end of it. You know, in the finals, I think he lost his game as well versus KT. And, you know, kind of wobbled, but he's back. He's back in full form. He's, like, an incredible player, especially in the PvP and PvZ matchups. I'm really interested to see how he's going to do against Terran, especially Dream, pretty much the best Terran in the world right now.
Yep.
Him and Maru up in there.
Innovation with his hairstyle.
Yeah, Innovation not liking the attention.
Completely zoned out for that, too. He was staring directly at the camera. Like, oh, they're talking about me.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't get to see him to play today, unfortunately. I guess they're kind of putting, like, Innovation's one of those players that's been a little inconsistent lately, so, like, let's take a step back from Innovation. We're putting Impact out here as the chance player.
Yeah.
Everyone else has to be rock solid.
There was also that one lineup where they had both Innovation and Dream in it, and Innovation lost, I think, and Dream won. So Dream was like this new guy. I think for round 3 of Pro League, he's got the best win rate so far. It's something like 5-0 right now. He hasn't taken a loss yet.
Yeah,
so
he's looking insanely good.
He deserves to come out every time if he's going to continue winning. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, here is BBoongBBoong Valdez.
Yeah. Can't help but laugh every time I hear this song. It's kind of like you're going into a bit of a seedy bar, and you just see BBoongBBoong sitting in the corner playing Starcraft 2. He's kind of like...
I kind of agree with that, man.
He's an interesting player. He's definitely had some ups and downs, not really finding his success ever, really, in Starcraft 2. Still waiting on that. He's still here. He's still kicking. Let's see if he can take a win today against soO.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a hard match. He's looking pretty focused right now, so really thinking something up. He hasn't had much luck recently in, for instance, GSL qualifiers, getting knocked out by Pet and ZVZ. He did win his last Pro League match, though, defeating Center, so it's something to think about.
That is true. Here's soO, though. He's 7-0 versus Zerg. So there you go. This guy he's insane in this matchup.
Like, the last 4 games he played, he defeated Rogue, Solar, Ragnarok, and then Solar again. So he is this sniper for ZVZ right now. He is just way too good at it, which is kind of funny, too, because it is the best of one, and best of one ZVZ is like
it's brutal.
The hardest thing you could ever imagine to be consistent with.
Yeah.
Because it's not guaranteed to get to the late game ever. Like, anything can happen before then.
There's one thing that Heroes 7-0 or now 7-1 in PvT, but this is ZVZ, like they're saying. soO, can he continue to be consistent? They both come out, these 2 Zerg players on Expedition Lost. We're about to jump into game number 1. It's going to be BBoongBBoong there on the left versus the ZVZ Sniper and soO on the right. Let's jump into game number 1 right now. Down here in the bottom left, in the red, our prime player, the Zerg player, it is BBoongBBoong.
And up here in the top right for SK Telecom T1, it is the ZVZ God. soO.
So, will either of these players go for anything early? Let's first take a look at soO's got an 8-game winning streak. A lot of those games in ZVZ, as you mentioned before.
Whoa.
BBoongBBoong. BBoongBBoong, the sound of a fart in Korean. So there you go.
How about that?
That's what that animal is, or whatever that thing was. Humanoid.
There was a humanoid Valdez. Well said. I'm not sure what kind of. It looked like a
just like
baby.
Wally.
Yeah, it's kind of like Waldo. Sorry. Waldo.
Wow, I'm actually surprised that BoongBoong gets votes here. I guess those must be some Prime fans. Just to lay it straight on the table, like soO is 7-0 in ZVZ. BoongBoong is 1-6 so far across the board.
Yeah, it really makes no sense if you're a betting man. You see the odds. I guess maybe like you're betting on that one chance that it's going to be that 9-pool Bane against the hatch first or something. Like, because it can always happen.
Yeah.
You know, Terra BPL, never forget. Never forget. Hand on heart.
Yep.
Looks like young BoongBoong is going to be going for that hatch first there.
Yeah. We see this oftentimes from players that are the underdogs. They just like to be greedy. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes hatch into gas into a bunch of drones and then pool, like an ultra late pool.
Oh, got the parents. Not sure. Oh, they got the family there, actually. Not sure which player that's for there.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's for soO.
You know, I kind of saw the resemblance.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You know, like, yeah, maybe, just maybe.
And it makes sense that they put the camera on them. It could also possibly be just the parents of the two boys behind them.
That's true, too.
Because they were sitting together and they waved
Yeah.
together, so.
I thought maybe they're his brothers or something.
Could be, could be. It's very true.
Whole family coming down just for a bit of a holiday and coming on. I don't know if this is really a holiday destination, Valdez. Probably not.
Down with the hospital that's near, with the outbreak of MERS and stuff.
Yeah,
It's great.
MERS holiday.
Yeah.
Never
It's
good.
exactly where you want to come.
Yeah, you know, check it out. Check the sites.
Meet the MERS family. That's what you got to do.
Wear the mask.
Yeah.
Very smartly from soO going for that 15 pool, by the way.
Yeah.
As we go right back into the game, Valdez.
You just got to be safe against BoongBoong. It's just one of those things you have to do. If soO had gone for a hatch first, that's just blind greediness in the face of a player who can pretty much only take a win against you if he does go for ultra-aggressive play.
Yeah, there's really no reason not to. And he scouts it's actually gasless as well from BoongBoong. So BoongBoong going for that gasless Roach style, most likely. I'd be very surprised if he tries to mix it up now. No gas, no hidden gas, no gas with the natural, which is one other way to kind of sneak some gas in early enough without the Overlord detecting it.
Yeah. And with that early pool, soO is actually going to deny the Overlord scouts. Looks like there for a while, I believe. Maybe it got a small scout. I actually can't really tell. Can you check that for me, Linwood?
Oh, you mean the one at soO's base? No, I wouldn't have seen.
Didn't really see much.
No, there's no way you can scout against a pool first. It's
yeah.
just, you will lose your Overlord all the time. This does leave the power in soO's hands, though, to either go for a very quick third base, go for a very quick tech. You know, he's got a big advantage in terms of getting that early gas. He can do whatever he wants with it. Most likely he won't be going for that Zergling speed, as we do see him go past the 100 mark without getting it. So probably saving it for either a quick lair or early upgrades. I think it's going to have to be a lair soon.
Yeah, it's looking that way. Whereas BoongBoong actually is going to throw down a pretty late double gas there at the natural.
Yeah.
So going to attempt to get his gas pretty quickly here after just being on minerals for a while.
It's actually pretty late gas, to be honest. So he's not going to really be fighting much at all. And he's actually not defending too much either. You know, he hasn't got a SimCity up at the front yet. He's going to put it down now. So he'll be careful. But no spine crawler at all. So if there was a massive commitment to Zerglings, like, he could possibly break through this. Luckily for him, though, soO's not that kind of guy.
Yeah, soO himself just gets that lair up. It's about 3/4 done. Also going to get the +1 ahead of BoongBoong. Maybe a small thing that can come into play a little bit later on in this game. And just no aggression from either player. Just macroing up here.
Huh. Looks like BoongBoong might be going for a gold base in the middle here. Now this is interesting. soO read it completely because he saw the drone come up in that direction. So it was a massive blunder from BoongBoong to actually keep going with the drone. So soO delays it for now. It's going to be a long time before we actually see BoongBoong get that base up.
He's still going for it. There's still a Ling over here.
Yeah, it's not going to disappear by itself. It's not on a timer.
He really wants this gold base.
I think he changes his mind now, actually, Valdez.
A bit late, but now there's a Zergling at his other third base, and that's going to get denied.
Kind of getting a little awkward here, man.
Yeah,
I'm actually starting to sweat from how awkward this is. I got to take off my...
I'm getting really stressed out. Like, oh, man.
I got to loosen my tie a little bit, get a little bit more comfy. I'm like, man, I think I need some water because this is getting way too awkward. Not finding either base, giving away where he wants to do it. So it's going to be incredibly delayed. The third for soO is almost finished. And while this is all happening, soO has been, massing roaches, getting his upgrades. His +1 is much further ahead. His roach speed is way further ahead. He could actually go for some aggression here if he wants to.
Yeah, this is something you'll see oftentimes with a player who's like extremely solid in a certain matchup or just at the game, namely soO, against a guy who's not nearly as experienced or as good in the matchup. He'll just make small mistakes like this to allow soO to get ahead very slightly, but soO's going to punish BBoongBBoong hard for that small mistake.
Well, this is also a huge mistake. Going out on the map this early on against someone who went for gas first. Your roaches are completely caught out. He does have more roaches, though, so soO's got to be a little careful.
soO is still confident to take this.
Well, he does have that +1 advantage as well. So, he's taking big, heavy hits already. More roaches are coming up. Might it be enough? Not just yet.
And BBoongBBoong still can't run away. Finally, the speed finishes, but he's taken so much damage.
That was ugly, Valdez. That was an ugly engagement. Bit of a risky move moving on the map this early. He didn't know for sure how early the gas was or if his roach speed was on the way or what. So, bit of a shot in the dark there for BBoongBBoong, and he did pay for it. Now, though, he does have a pretty decent-sized roach army.
But soO very smartly. He's not going to engage until he knows he has the advantage. He knows that the third base just came up here for BBoongBBoong, so he's like, I've had my third base forever, and I've got even more drones here. I'm in a fantastic place in terms of economy, so as long as I just continue macroing from here, should be totally fine to get further and further ahead of BBoongBBoong.
If we actually saw soO really invest in a couple of extra overseers to contaminate that upgrade. He already did it once, so he's already slowing that +2 down incredibly. But from here, all he has to do is make roaches and then go for one fantastic attack, because that would be more than enough to kill him. He is so far behind in his +2 upgrade that the window of opportunity for a big attack is so large right now.
Yeah. And so he's going to add a macro hatch here, just get a bunch more larvae out, maybe just try to macro up as much as possible, get all those roaches out, as you were saying. BBoongBBoong going to commit to a lot more drones, in fact, and he's going to contaminate the evolution chamber of soO as well.
Yeah, look at this. He's just looking for aggression. This is one of the powerful things in this map, in a ZVZ especially, is that backdoor. Once it's open in a roach versus roach situation, you can really get your opponent out of position, do a lot of harassment with roaches. It's a very scary thing. So soO is, he's being so careful right now.
Yeah, very meticulous about this. He doesn't want to make one big mistake to lose him the game against BBoongBBoong. He knows he's ahead. He's going to continue just playing solidly here. We do see BBoongBBoong going to be the first to commit to Burrow and a Hydra Den, whereas soO, as you were saying, just continuing to pump out roaches.
Yeah, I get the impression he's simply just going to go for a massive roach attack from here, because he knows how the timing on his +2 and how much he's delayed the +2 of BBoongBBoong's right now. It's just about him getting in a good position for it too. He's still in that halfway zone where he's kind of at the bottom of his ramp.
And he's still scared about that back door, it seems.
Yeah.
Even though he's got overlords over there spotting, he continues to place a bunch of roaches in the main just in case.
I think it might be time to make his move now. He is +2. He has that advantage. Looks like BBoongBBoong's going to stay and fight for now, but there's more roaches coming around behind.
soO's baiting him in. And he's going to get a gigantic concave now, and BBoongBBoong on the run, taking a lot of hits. As he goes away, you can see the roach number there in the top left, 39 to 52.
Big difference there, and that's more than enough, especially with the deficit and upgrades. Might be going for that rock tower. Nope, just going to keep running. Surprisingly burrowed some units. If he actually just ran down the ramp and ran on top of those roaches, he would have just dominated him.
Yeah.
He still can. He's still up an upgrade. He's just being very careful. But this is actually letting him get Hydras out, which is a very scary thing right now.
Yeah, he's getting some Hydras out, just 5 for now, but soO's still way, way ahead in terms of army supply. Just has so many roaches. He's about to finish Burrow and Burrow movement here. And he's going to go for a bit of a harassing move, possibly.
Yeah, it looks like he will be going for that. It would have been smart of him actually to get rid of the ice at the back of his the main base of BBoongBBoong's. Instead, looks like he's going to be going for a massive surround here. Oh, beautiful engagement from soO.
Yeah, and BBoongBBoong getting way, way out of position. This just looks like way too many roaches. He's got a gigantic concave now. Those 5 hiders not helping out there in the front even, and going down very, very quickly. soO continues to get further and further ahead in this fight.
Yeah, very surprised that actually BBoongBBoong moved out there. Sure, he had the composition advantage, but he didn't have the numbers. Not yet. So he went for this horrible engagement, gets completely surrounded, and now it's looking checkmate. There's simply not enough units at this point, and he's even dancing.
There's the dance. BBoongBBoong backs up in his chair.
The last thing a Prime player needs right now is an SK player to dance in front of him. This is just a ruthless thing.
GG. BBoongBBoong looking really unhappy with that loss. Once you get danced in front of, that's when you know you've really dropped the ball.
That's very true, Valdez. That was the beatdown, man. And dude, he's happy with that win, but
picks up an 8th win in ZVZ.
Kind of an embarrassing loss from BBoongBBoong. He survived the hardest point, but then he moved out.
Yep.
Why would you move out, Valdez, when you're down 50 supply? Surely he doesn't know the numbers for sure, but he knows that soO is probably ahead in army supply because he did take that very favorable fight just seconds before.
Yeah. I would just say that the decision-making of BBoongBBoong in that game just is not what you want to do at all. Like, just way, way too many mistakes that soO is a good enough player to take advantage of. And soO just played very solidly. He didn't really do anything too special at all. He just played very, very solid ZVZ, whereas BBoongBBoong just played straight into his hands and, like I said, dropped the ball.
He fumbled, man. Well, next game is going to be on Deadwing. And that's going to be Creator versus Dream.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man. It should be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
The best player on Prime against, I dare say, the best player on SKT right now.
Yeah, I could put him up there. Classic is very, very close as well.
Yeah, it's really a close-up between these two right now. Dream he just keeps getting better and better, and he's scary as hell in this matchup.
Yeah, that's the big thing here. Creator, he's shown weakness in this matchup. The last time he played against a Terran was Maru, I believe, and he ended up crying in the booth. People were actually taking bets on whether he would cry again this time. Let's hope not.
That would be pretty sad if it was actually like on a betting website if Creator would cry.
Oh, man.
Like, well, it does happen a lot, so the odds are there in favor. But I didn't know why he'd ever cry against losing to Maru.
Well, he just got totally embarrassed in that game, and Dream is another player who can do it again. So I'm leaning towards he will cry this time as well. It looked okay against MVP when he lost to Losira in the Ace match, but
yeah, it's such a shame there. Like he obviously cares so much about doing well, and like, he just really wants to do well, but he's just not finding his success. I think he's like a very talented player as well. Yeah. But he's not the best of teams to really increase growth, I guess, in his play. Like,
I agree with you. I think it's not the right environment for him. I think an immense amount of pressure is put on Creator every single time he comes out into Pro League, and if he ever loses, he takes it so hard. He's one of those very emotional players. He's like the wrong guy to put that pressure on, basically. I would love to see him in like a fourth place slot for SKT or KT or even like Samsung or someone like that. But